The Marion County Prosecutor's Office just announced this week the creation of a conviction integrity unit starting early next year. The goal of that unit is to prevent, identify, and fix any wrongful convictions that may be out there. It is the first of its kind in Indiana, and joining me live is Marion County Prosecutor Ryan Mears to explain how this is going to work and again why it's so important to him. Good to see you.
Thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely. Let's dive in here. I love to know the stories and the passion behind decisions like this. Ryan, tell me specifically, was there one thing in particular that stood out, or maybe a case that said, you know what, this is why this is so needed now?
Well, I think it's, first of all, it starts with the idea, and hopefully this is a universally accepted idea, that none of us should want innocent people in jail. And so what role or responsibilities the prosecutor's office has in having that? And I think a lot of times when people think of wrongful convictions, they think of Alabama or Mississippi, these other states, but it actually does happen here. And recently this year, a case was brought to my attention where we actually agreed to release someone who was convicted of attempt murder. And as we looked more into those facts, we realized, hey, we might not necessarily have the right person here. And we actually ended up agreeing to the release. And that was really kind of the catalyst for us to say, we need to make sure that every conviction that comes out of Marion County is a just and valid conviction. And that not only means present day and looking into the future, but we also have to acknowledge that there might be past mistakes. And it's important for us to take a proactive role in this process to make sure that we're rooting out any injustices that might have occurred in the criminal justice system.
Yeah, a lot of times it's a 30-second headline, right? Or maybe 3 minutes when somebody, you find out they spent 20 years in prison for something they didn't do. And you think about the damage that does to so many families and how much hurt that causes. I wanted to ask you too, what has the response been? You're looking for, I think, an investigator and someone to be on the team as the attorney. What kind of response have you gotten? You have a lot of people that want that job, those jobs.
Yeah, the response has been overwhelmingly positive, and there's a lot of people in the defense bar who have indicated that I never saw myself as a prosecutor, but now I'm interested in this. I don't want to hire someone from in the office because I do want this position to be an independent person who doesn't have any preconceived ideas or notions, that's just going to fairly and impartially evaluate the facts and cases to make sure that we got the right person. So it's been very nice to see the number of people who have reached out about this position and who have expressed an interest. Because it's a very important topic to make sure that we restore that faith in the criminal justice system.
Yeah, and one thing that I do hear when talking about criminal justice, making changes, I still hear a lot, even from our viewers, people saying prosecutors are too soft on quote unquote criminals, and why are we giving so much attention to quote unquote criminals? What do you say to those people that still have that outlook, that think that you're not doing a tough enough job in Indianapolis?
Well, I think the response is number one, this job is designed to make sure that we're doing the right thing and that we're pursuing justice, and that's the goal, and that's really the requirement of a prosecutor, is to seek justice. And I don't think anybody should be for innocent people being in prison. And so I think you can do both things. We can still prosecute murder cases, we can still prosecute robbery cases and people who pose a threat to public safety, but we have to make sure that we're prosecuting the right person. We want people to come forward with information. We want to have a more cooperative relationship with the community. But that's only going to happen if we have trust between the community and law enforcement. And one of the ways to do that is to say, hey, we're going to make sure that everybody that we bring to trial and every conviction that we previously had, that was based only on the facts and applying the law to those facts and not anything else. And I think that's going to lead to better prosecutions in the future, where we make sure we identify the person who did it.
Prosecutor Ryan Mears, thank you. We welcome you back anytime. We love to get insight from our leaders. Good to see you.
Thank you. I appreciate the time.
Absolutely. Scott.
And thank you.